Hello, welcome to the American Business Podcast. I'm Kevin Deveji, your host. Today's number is 24. 24% of global workforce is confident that they have the skills that they need to advance their career to their next job in the near future. Today we'll be talking about talent management, talent acquisition. But before we get started, I have some announcements that I like to make, and then we can invite our guests to our virtual stage. While we are growing the American Business Podcast successfully, we also started a new podcast called Two Guys, All Things Tech podcast. This is a podcast designed for technology only. So I'm a co-host of the podcast with my colleague Antonio Lucidi, and we just released our first episode, and we talk about AI regulations, whether or not regulate AI, and we had discussion about AI in general. So you can subscribe to our YouTube channel if you like. I put the QR code on the screen. Two Guys, All Things Tech. And last week, we released the first episode, as I mentioned. The way that we designed this podcast is educational, and it is only about technology. So we just talk about technology or things linked to technology. So last week we started in the studio with the recording, and when you go to the YouTube channel, you'll see our podcast, and you can also watch on YouTube and get more information. And if you subscribe, that'd be great as well. And let's update our screen. Okay, that's perfect. And today we'll be talking about HR and human resources practices, as well as talent acquisition and retention. So for that, I like to invite our guest to our screen. Hello,
Hi there.
Nicole. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Thank you very much. How is your week going so far?
It is great. Busy. Just getting ready for the weekend to enjoy this nice weather. How about
Yes,
you?
good. Yeah, so far so good. It was so far it has been a good week. It's been busy. We had some work to prepare for the podcast as well as the work in general. But overall, it's been a productive week. So that's good.
Great.
Sounds good. So, well, we have a lot to cover, right, in our conversation today. As a start, would you please introduce yourself and your organization to our audience and to our listeners, please?
Sure. My name is Nicole Cordero. I am the founder of Crave HRO. It is a HR consultancy based in New York, but I service small employers nationwide. I founded the organization in 2021 after leaving a toxic work environment, which kind of shaped the way I do things today.
Great. Thank you very much for this information. Well, can you also tell us about uh, your career? How did you get started, especially your job that you pick? A little bit of insights, that'd be great.
Sure. So I had, when I graduated college, I was actually a bartending preschool teacher. So I have come quite a long way from there. I started in administration for accounting firms. I did 8 tax seasons at several different firms. The last firm that I was with was a startup, and they had hired me on as their firm administrator. I was thinking, this is great. I'm going to grow with the company. I'll be here for the rest of my life. But they tripled their staff within the first year, and all the HR tasks and responsibilities fell on me. So HR kind of chose me, not the other way around. But I fell in love with it, went back to school, got my master's, got my certifications, and went on to do full-time HR from there.
Yes, that's really exciting. Can you tell us about your work? What are the exciting and challenging parts of your work on daily basis?
Well, the exciting thing about my work is that every day is different. Aside from like your standard administrative tasks, like payroll that happens on a set schedule, a lot of the times I always say that's more reactive than anything else, because you can't predict what is going to happen in HR. So I'm working with probably about 20 different employers at any given time, and their services are on a variety of different levels. But I get a lot of employee relations situations where they call me and they're like, how do I handle this? I have no idea what to do. And then I get to solve that problem for them.
Yeah, this is really exciting. So when we look at the market in general, you work with different organizations, different businesses, as well as professionals. So when you look at the market in general, how are the trends in general about talent acquisition and talent retention? And I like to also, get your insights about challenges that businesses are having in terms of talent acquisition and retention.
Sure. So in terms of talent acquisition, I mean, the marketplace has been rough for a few years now. A lot of people are transitioning into different careers, transitioning into wanting more flexible working environments. A lot more people are more comfortable with, asking for the things they want now. So job hopping is has less of a stigma attached to it than it used to. So it's a very competitive market out there, especially with all the technology that you can use and tools out there to find talent. I always tell my clients that if they are, still paying per click or still paying for job ads on one site, that they should talk to me because there are so much more cost-effective ways of doing that now. And then of course there's like specialized positions too, like where you'd want to go into career fairs, you want to utilize your network, things like that. And then for retention, I would say the biggest things, obviously pay. People aren't working to not make money. So making sure you're aware of like the market in your area and those roles, and making sure you're paying fairly, making sure that you're offering good benefits. It goes far beyond just regular health, dental, vision. Nowadays, there's supplemental insurance, accident, cancer, illness. There's also your mental health care, your wellness benefits, financial wellness. So there's a host of benefits that you should be looking into to make yourself stand out among the competition.
So one of the popular subjects in our business podcast is AI and the impact of AI. And the question that we keep getting, and we try to find the answers, or at least the feedback, is about, will AI replace jobs? And so we prepare these questions, and then last week we had another guest, and we talk about AI, and he's Mark Agovino, one of our podcast guests last week. He's also in HR and staffing industry. So he mentioned that some organizations, they're already putting AI agents in their organizational charts. So this is something new, and they treat AI agents as an employee now. Like when you put them in the organization chart, it's official now, right? So you put it in the chart, and it's right there. So assuming you have assuming I have a department, say I'm running the, let's say, purchasing department. So let's say I'm the purchasing director. So we have managers, we have associates, and we also have the agents, AI agents, linked to our department as part of the organizational chart. So when I never heard it, I had never heard it before, so it was really new for me and surprising for me. So it's really real. And then a couple of days ago, it was in the journal and the news. Amazon actually getting ready to reorganize its workforce, and because of the AI agents and AI, there will be layoffs. That's actually what we heard in the news. So I like to actually get your insights about this subject. What do you think about AI? How it is shaping the business world in general?
I use AI every day. I am pro AI. The way I look at it is it's an enhancement. If I don't think it can replace the human factor, but I think that it would be irresponsible almost to ignore AI and the way it could help you perform your job function. Obviously, in the HR space with an HR hat on, you want to make sure you have good policies that guide employees on best practices when using AI and what type of AI tools would be acceptable or even more than acceptable, encouraged to help them complete their jobs. But it's definitely, I have seen it as well, where AI is replacing some roles. I was just heard yesterday that New York is now going to have a requirement where if you're laying off your team, you have to notify them if the part of the factor is that due to AI. So only time will tell.
That is
But
something new you just mentioned. That's amazing.
yeah,
Maybe that's a national trend. I don't know if there is any other state doing that. So, but
we're usually one of the leaders, us in California.
that's amazing. Yes, that's really because now I mean that's a sign that means there are regulations coming in. This is just now you need to disclose it. Later on, there may be some other rail guards to make sure people keep their jobs in the meantime, or they like to make it official, create the records of it. That is amazing. The reason I'm also emphasizing this, last week when I had the first episode recording at the Two Guys All Things Tech podcast with my with our co-host Anthony Lucidi, we talk about this, and we were discussing about whether or not regulating AI, and if you're gonna regulate it, how are you gonna be doing it? If you do it, is it gonna curb innovation or not? Right? These are all legitimate questions. So you just mentioned this New York State regulation coming in. Then it's just spot on. It's just basically complete each other in a way. So that's something you are breaking the news here. So that's great.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yes, yes. So yeah, I mean that's why we love to talk about these AI practices as well as the impact of AI. It's something that we keep talking about every day. It's because we don't know what's going to happen, and we just discuss and share ideas. Uh, However, when we follow the news and the press, something new happens every day about this. So and it affects people's livelihood directly. So it's definitely
Yeah.
good to know. Um, well, I like to shift our conversation towards role models. You have decades of experience on your belt, and in your professional career, have you had any role models that you can tell us about a little bit?
Yeah, so I would say my role models have surfaced more in recent years. As a business owner, it's two aspects of my job, right? So there's the everyday HR work that I have to do, I have to have expertise in, but also I'm running a business by myself. So I need to kind of know how to sell myself. I need to know how to market. I need to know how to solve problems and make sales. So a lot of my role models have come from my professional network, whether that's Huga, BNI, which BNI is on a global level. Huga is more on a local level. I don't know if your audience base is strictly in New York, and they would know.
Yes, but we're pretty much actually, yeah, just information. So that we have audience nationally in US,
Okay,
North
cool.
America, and we have a very large global audience as well. So any
Great.
information you share is gonna be welcomed.
Okay. So yeah, Huga is more of like a local networking group where it's more relationship based. It's exclusive for business owners. So it's basically a group of your peers that are going through similar things. And if they haven't gone through it already, they're going through it with you, and we just bounce ideas off each other. BNI is more of a global referral network where you're coming in, you're vetted, you have basically, we call it a team of salespeople. and those are like my role models who I can lean on every day. But then there's also on the HR side, some people that I've been lucky to connect with over the years. One of them is Tara Fioriani. I met her on LinkedIn. She is known as Not the HR Lady, which kind of inspired my moniker of Not Your Father's HR. She is very no nonsense. She tells it like it is, and she speaks up for what's right. So she is probably one of my role models on the HR side. She had also invited me to an event that she was speaking in to meet her in Atlanta. It's called the Unplug conference. And at the time I was going through a hardship. I had just lost my corporate HR management position. I reached out to the organizer, and she said to me, her name is LaShawn Davis. She said to me, Nicole, don't worry about it. We will cover you. Just pay for your flight. We want you there. And now I've been going every year for 3 years. Very much so talking centers on like changing the face of HR, being innovative, doing things differently. And so that all aligns with like the way I approach my work.
How about some lessons learned in your career journey? Do you have any lessons learned? Any lessons that you like to share with us, with our audience?
Well, I learn lessons every day, but I would
Good
say
point.
most important is, never to give up. If I would have given up, I'd be, I don't even know where I'd be. And kind
Absolutely.
of just pivot with the unexpected things that happen. If you approach things with a positive mindset, you are likely to succeed no matter what. Also, like I said before, your network is everything. And make sure that you're investing in that and that you have good people around you to support you and your journey and vice versa.
Yeah, these are great points. Thanks for sharing these. Do you have any passions outside of work, interests that you can share with us?
Yeah, so I am super connected to mental health advocacy. You can probably see those bottles up there. I sell wine that donates to a percentage to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. That's like a little passion project of mine. I've written some ebooks. I really love to travel. And I have 6 pets. One of them is behind me, my emotional support cat, Ollie. But it's 2 dogs, 2 cats, and 2 chinchillas. And I just enjoy spending time with them and my husband.
Yeah, that's great. Well, so one of our missions in our podcast is to share educational content with the next generation as well as today's generation, of course. So, do you have any career advice for those who are thinking about getting into HR, human resources, or talent acquisition part of the job market?
He heard me talking about him.
Yes, yes.
So
I mean,
yeah, right. So my advice for incoming HR people would be to make sure you're getting into it for the right reasons. Make sure that you have the best interest of not only the employer but also the employees. Because if you are not supporting the employees, you don't have a workforce, and also invest in technology. Um, is was helping me keeping up with multi-state compliance because you're just one person. You need help, so rely
yes,
on what you can.
yes, absolutely. And for those who like to be in touch with you, what are the best way that they can get in touch with you? Would you like to share your contact information with them?
Yeah, they can visit my website. It's www.cravehro.com. And my email is Nicole, Nicole, at cravehro.com.
Well, thank you so much for being with us, Nicole, on this Friday afternoon. Truly appreciate it. And I wish you a great weekend.
You too.
Thank you very much. Well, let's talk to our audience and listeners and let's share some final notes. I hope you also like this episode with Nicole. And we talk about human resources as well as talent management. She also shared her insights about the latest trends about talent acquisition and retention. So I hope you liked it. If you liked it, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is the American Business Podcast YouTube channel that you can find. I am also sharing a QR code on the screen that you can also scan and join. I really truly appreciate your support. We just reached more than 45,000 YouTube subscribers. And it means a lot to us that you subscribe, you like, and every week we bring you new content, educational, informative content, and we interview business professionals, business leaders, entrepreneurs, and business owners. So we truly appreciate it. If you haven't done so, please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. This will help us bring you more content, fresh content, and not to mention it's very motivational for us. It means a lot to us that you subscribe and you support us. If you have an idea that you like to share with us, if you like to be in touch with us, you can reach out to us by send us an email. That is americanbusinesspodcast@gmail.com. We keep an open mind and we'll be happy to hearing from you. Would you like to be a guest? Do you know someone who likes to be a guest? You can also reach out to us by email, americanbusinesspodcast@gmail.com. Also, I'll put a QR code on the screen. You can scan this code right here, and if you scan this code, it'll bring you a form. You can fill this form and share your feedback, and get in touch with us whether to share feedback or to be a guest speaker. We definitely welcome it. And if you go to our website, americanpodcast.tv, you can see our latest schedule. We release it there every week. When you log in, the first thing you'll see is the list of the schedule that's coming in. We update it every Monday morning, and you can learn about coming guests, what type of subjects we will cover coming week, and you'll be able to learn more about our podcast and our team as well. Also, we have a sponsor, IPVanish VPN. If you are looking for a VPN, I use IPVanish. It's a solid system. If you need a VPN system, you can visit the website that I'm sharing on the screen. And this will help you get information about IPVanish. And if you're interested, you can also subscribe to it, and you can enjoy the benefits of that system. Yeah, that's great. Well, we truly appreciate your support. I'd like to thank you for your help and thank you for your support in our journey in the American Business Podcast. We have more educational content coming up next week. We have a full schedule until fall. So we are fired up thanks to your support. We are motivated, and I'm looking forward to having you at the next American Business Podcast episode. Thank you very much, and have a great weekend.